Boom, 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 boom. Another boom, another boom, another boom, another commitment for the Sooners. Told you all July was going to be pretty busy, and the Oklahoma Sooners pick up their 5th scholarship commitment and 6 total, as there was a preferred walk-on that dropped this past weekend. And we'll talk about him a little bit at the end of the video. But Eugene Brooks has made his decision. He's a Sooner baby. Kind of told you all that last week. And, you know, it came to fruition. So let's dig into some more film that he has, as well as talk about his impact to this class and what this class is looking like. But before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. If you like this video, go hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We would love to have you here on the channel, joining this community of college football fans. And so let's dive right into Eugene Brooks. We're going to look at some additional film because we didn't watch all of it in the last video. If you did not see that video, you can see it right above me. And I'll have a link in the description below for you to check out all of his great, juicy film. But let's talk about why he is one of those players that Beating Bo did go after. And like I said, what it means for this class. So real quick, for the uninitiated, we've got to go ahead and talk about his measurables. 6'3", about 320 something pounds, a big time man. And he's one of those players that jumped out to me when I watched the film, especially after reading the write-ups, because the write-ups were basically saying that he's a very versatile player, plays tackle, but is being recruited as a guard. And then I saw him on the film being able to go into motion, doing the pulls, and he's pretty quick and light on his feet. And so because of that, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely a Beating Bo special. You bring him in, Beating Bo's going to develop him because he can play multiple positions. That's something that he really likes as far as versatility. He's very big on that. A lot of the players on the team can play both guard and tackle. Now, this is something I've heard before from some professional offensive linemen on podcasts over the last few years. And they've talked about how when it comes to offensive linemen, correct me if I'm wrong, if any of you have played line and you can answer this, that usually if a guy is at guard, that means he's at guard. He ain't playing nothing else. Tackles are usually the one that's most versatile. They can play tackle and guard. But usually if a guy's relegated to guard, he's a guard. And I'm not sure why. I haven't dug into it yet, but I would love to hear from you all, so you can hop in the comments and give me your thoughts around that. But Eugene Brooks shows that unique ability to be versatile in movement. At 325 pounds, you know, he's a big boy, and roughly 6'3", 6'4"-ish, depending on which site you look at. Actually, I think I saw somewhere said that he was 6'5". So I don't know what his exact height is. We'll say 6'4", just to meet in the middle. But watching the film, here's some stuff from him at the Under Armour camp, and he was working it. Like, as you can see, the footwork is good, stepping back. He's playing tackle. He did a little guard work. He can move. And because of that, like I said, that versatility is something that Beating Bo likes in his offensive lineman, because then he can move them around and he can decide, you know, which position you'll develop at best. You're not really stuck or relegated to one spot. And so the excitement about getting a player like this is big. And, you know, overall, you know, he's a consensus 3-star. ESPN, as well as Rivals, has him listed as a 4-star, and they consider him in the top 30 in the country. Same thing with 247, but they don't have him as a 4-star yet. I suspect that he's going to continue to move up the charts, and by the end of this cycle, he will be in a mid-tier 4-star recruit. But even outside of that, man, he can play. At a Sierra Canyon High School out there in California, he's spent the first 2 years of high school in Las Vegas. And this was a fun nugget that I've been seeing float around, is that he went to high school with Javante Barnes. And so, I mean, I could totally see how he's been watched for a while. And then he transferred to Sierra Canyon after sophomore year, played last year there, and now he'll be a senior out there in California. And so we're traveling all over the place, baby, trying to get as much talent as possible and those players that fit what Beating Bo likes to do. And so because of that, I'm pretty excited. As you can watch the film, he can move, and that's something that's going to be big for what this offensive line is going to do long term. We talked about it before. You bring in him to Beating Bo. Beating Bo works him out, gets him developed. You put him in front of Schmitty. That 325 is going to drop to about probably 15 to 20 of mostly muscle, because Schmitty's going to put that man to work. And because he's one of those players that like to work, you can tell in the training videos. And I think he was bench pressing like 350 or 80 pounds in one of his Twitter videos. Jeez Louise, just manning it up. Yeah, we're going to see him get taken care of here at Oklahoma, and he is potential to be one of the greats based upon just the work ethic I've seen. And so as long as he keeps that up, baby, we're going to see some special stuff out of him. And so that's Eugene Brooks. I'm pretty excited about this additional commitment. That is number 16 on the scholarship side, 17 total when we add Jacob Jordan out of Texas, that recently preferred walk-on wide receiver that committed. We'll talk about him on the other side. So I'm excited. Talk to your boy. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know. What's your thoughts on Eugene Brooks? What's your thoughts on this win for Beatenbow? I know a lot of you want these big name offensive linemen, but I think Eugene Brooks is going to be a household name coming down the line. So there's no reason to really fret. But let's look at this class. So, Oklahoma, we're sitting at, like I said, 16 commits. Based upon the averages, man, we're top 10 as far as score averages. And so we may have a total class of around top 20, but we're top 10 right now when it comes to actual, like, the scores, the star ratings and everything. And so to me, that's a little bit more important. You kind of want your class to be, have a lot of, star power, but at the same time have a lot of versatility and ability. And Oklahoma's killing it right now. And so even then, my boy PG, he dropped a video on Jacob Jordan, the most recent walk-on, that kid looks kind of special. And so looking at Jacob as he committed to Oklahoma, as like I said, a preferred walk-on, about 5'9", 170, slot guy out of Southlake down in Texas. That's from the Austin area, so it's kind of interesting that we're snatching up these type of players. But he had some solid commits, solid offers out there. Now, if I'm correct, Emmett Jones offered him at Texas Tech, and so Texas Tech is one of his offers. But the one thing that jumped out to me about him was just his numbers. He had 64 catches for 1,200 yards last season and 16 touchdowns. 64 catches, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns as a junior. It's pretty good numbers to me. And the film itself shows he can run routes great. Makes me think of your Wes Welker type players. Think about him. He wasn't very heavily recruited. He went to Tech, blew up, went to the NFL, killed it with the Patriots, killed it with the Broncos. You get a lot of those players that show production. And I think that's the most important thing. He shows production. And I think, surprisingly, Oklahoma was able to win him. Tulsa was I thought he was going to end up committing to Tulsa or even Tech. But it looks like he decided that a preferred walk-on here was a lot better. And then I guess seeing what we've done with the Drake Stoops of the world, and now we got Gavin Freeman, he probably saw that, hey, there's an opportunity that they'll actually put me to work and use me. And so Oklahoma won his services as a preferred walk-on. And so I'm pretty excited about that. I like players that are going to go out there and grind and work their butt off for the team and make the magic happen. And so, just like I said, watching the film, watching him be able to get open, he's a fantastic route runner. That stood out to me most than anything. And I think that's going to be one of those things that's going to be huge for the Sooners going down, is having a really good preferred walk-on program, because that's when you find some real diamonds, real hustlers. Also, you got to get you a really good scout team. So remember that. So hop in the comments. Think about Jacob Jordan. Give me your thoughts. I was going to put an entire video together. Been sick over the weekend. And so now I'm just kind of get back to going. And yeah, we're about to get live, baby. That is just one of the other commitments with Eugene Brooks. So hop in the comments. We'll know how you feel about that, as well as Jacob Jordan. Basically the 6 commits for this month. And we're not done. We have a few more dates coming down the line. So keep your eyes open, especially July 31st with Michael Patterson McDonald, which I'm really excited about. The Southmore, Oklahoma safety. And he's part of the group of guys that are from Oklahoma that we're trying our hardest to snatch in. And so YouTube says check out one of these videos. These are some commitment videos. Love for you to check them out. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. Like, subscribe, bell notification, and join the family. We'll talk soon. Peace.